States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. We were in closed session for multiple purposes, including discipline, legal, all sorts of things. We are now back in open session. We do have a discipline motion, so I would entertain a motion for student discipline.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that we approve the findings of the hearing officer in student case number SOH 24220203.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Roll call vote, please.
Elder Parks.
Elder Parks.
Elder Parks.
Yes.
Mrs. Holland.
Yes.
Mrs. Corbin.
Yes.
Ms. Payne.
Yes.
Mrs. Schrader.
Yes.
Pastor Miller.
Yes.
Dr. Ashton.
Yes, motion passes 7-0. Thank you very, very much. That brings us to the consent agenda and the agenda approval. I need to put those both together. So because we are going to vote on our agenda, which will have the consent agenda in it, and seeing that nothing is to be removed from the consent agenda, and I don't think there are any additions or corrections to the, or amendments to the agenda. So I would entertain a motion as it's presented.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion a second. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Ms. Payne.
Yes.
Mrs. Corbin.
Yes.
Elder Parks.
Yes.
Pastor Miller.
Yes.
Mrs. Schrader.
Yes.
Mrs. Holland.
Yes.
Dr. Ashton.
Yes. Motion passes 7-0. Thank you. That brings us to public comments. This should be good.
Mary Ellen.
Good evening.
Good evening. So we're going to very quickly, in 5 minutes or less, tell you about the first annual science. It's going to be annual science fair that happened at Northeast, and I corralled these lovely people into coming to show you what they did. The 6th grade students, led by Mrs. Hessler at Northeast, did a science fair that blew me away, and I was so excited that I got to go over there. I reverted back to my science teacher days, and these two students, all of the students really impressed me. Every single one of them could talk for hours about their science experiments. And so these two, I asked to come and show you what they did. Very briefly, we've got Gabby and Timothy here. And Gabby, what I loved about hers, my favorite thing is that her experiment did not work. And that is the best, but she can tell you why it didn't work, and she can tell you what she learned. And I explained to her why that's better, because you learn more sometimes when things don't work. And her chart is fabulous because it explains what didn't work, why it didn't work, and what she learned. And then Timothy was another really cool experiment because he took variations of creating probiotic drinks, which you have in front of you, and like all the different ways that you could make probiotic drinks to be healthy. And he gave you a little sample of, I believe it was his favorite, which was peach lemonade. So they're here a little bit reluctantly to answer questions if you would like to answer them. As Mrs. Hessler doesn't like to speak in public, that's why I'm talking a little bit. But they will also answer questions if you have them. I know that's not really what we're supposed to do at public comments, but I'm going to back away. But they were so impressive, and it was an incredible science fair to the point where we think maybe this is something we need to kind of do district-wide. It was really, really cool. Mrs. Hessler did an incredible job with all of the 6th graders at Northeast, but I would really like for you to, so these are their boards that they did, but it was, the thinking that went on with the kids was unbelievable.
Can you have them hold their boards, because we can't see it from here?
I'm going to back away and let you guys.
Oh, I would have made them do it.
So each student was given
Gabby
a
did
board,
the growing one.
and they had to find a project
Come right here.
that worked with the scientific method. thankfully, we had great parental support.
So this is fermented? According to your board, right? Okay. Everybody's waiting for us to drink it, right?
It is really good.
It's
Are they going to, are you gonna have them talk?
it's peach lemonade. Do you want?
Do you want to read your card to them?
He has a prepared. Go ahead. Do you want to come up?
Do you want me to tell them what we did? So the day that we had the science fair, we invited all the families to come in. I had 46 students in the cafeteria, and each kid had their science board, and they explained it to every person that came to them and talked about their project and talked about what they did and if their hypothesis was correct or not correct. And Timothy was quite popular because he had samples, which the kids really enjoyed. But he also, it was really neat to see when he came to me and was like, "This is what I want to do." I'm like, okay, did your parents agree to that? Are they all right with that? And they were fine with it, and they've been great supports. And Gabby was the same way. She was actually gone for part of the time we were doing the science project, and her parents helped her get it completed. So, you guys want to talk?
Gabby, tell him what you. Gabby, do you mind saying kind of what you thought was going to happen, then what actually happened, and why she was able to answer any question that I came up with, like, without any prompting, like that wasn't even covered on her board. It was unreal what she learned by doing her experiment. It was really impressive. And you could just tell with Timothy too how much they just were so impassioned about what they did and what they learned, and which speaks a lot to Mrs. Hessler and what the students did. It was just really, I felt so good when I left that day about what they had done. But do you want to tell them a little bit about what you did? Yeah.
Okay. So for my vinegar, I thought it was gonna end up growing, but it ended up dissolving because the acid in the vinegar caused the gummy bear to lose its shape and then finally dissolve. And then the I think it's the baking soda.
Salt.
Oh, salt water.
Salt water.
It ended up shrinking because the more salt you add into a liquid, the more water it would leave the gummy. And then the baking soda, it grew after 24 hours because of the process called osmosis. Same with the milk and the soda.
You should, like,
Can you read them your card? Yeah, go for it.
just real quick.
Yeah. Yeah, just go ahead and start right there. Your gut biome.
Your gut microbiome is made up of microorganisms that live in the digestive system, the digestive tract. They help you digest your food and keep you healthy. Things like your diet, environment, and medications like antibiotics. Probiotics made from fermentation can help you replenish your gut microbiome. Of the many probiotic products available, probiotic drinks are very popular. For my science project, I chose to answer the question, how is a probiotic drink made?
Thank you.
Thank you.
You taste it. Yeah, it's good.
Timothy, I have a question. Would you like us to try this?
Yes.
All right.
What's the flavor?
Peach lemonade.
Peach lemonade?
Ooh, that's good.
It tastes good.
That's really good. Are you
How
gonna
do I
market
know
it?
it's a probiotic?
It's good.
What if it's just
It
like
does.
vodka in it or
All
something?
right.
Okay, I'll give it a
It's
shot.
good.
Okay,
It's
first
good.
of all, as an ex-science nerd dude, okay?
That's
No.
what tastes good.
Kudos for a scientific method. Seriously, that you guys have done that and gone through what a hypothesis is and how to do the test and then what your conclusions are. You'll see that plays out if you follow science all the way through past college. It's forever and it's everywhere. It's the worldwide. It's the way science communicates with everybody, and everything's done that way. So it's really great to see you start now and do that. And yes, district-wide. Yes, I'd love. like I said, as a science nerd, some of my best memories are like dumb experiments that like didn't work. But that's because you tried it out. You did something and you learned. And like she said, you learn more sometimes from mistakes than you do from a gigantic success. Ask Edison. So there's a lot of great inventors that failed. So kudos to you guys. You guys are absolutely awesome. It better not be alcohol. Oh, it isn't bad.
It's good. It's
Not bad.
It's just you don't know. Here, it's like here, try this. You go, I've had that before. It's pickle juice.
Or is that stuff from what was it called? What is the first sergeant that you had?
The grog. I worried about it being grog.
There's a lot of stuff.
But it was good. It didn't taste even like pickles at all.
Jumpers at the door.
Any other? Okay. Let's see. Any other public comments? Yeah. 5.
Not that quick. Good evening, Dr. Geddes and board. I am here as principal of Edison Elementary. I have a fabulous, hardworking staff who has had a ton of success this year. And with all of their hard work, I wanted to give them something to make kind of their own. So we rebranded at Edison, and I have our official unveiling of our little Viking. So this is our new mascot. Everyone has embraced it, and it's really kind of given everyone that unity and family feel. So I just wanted to unveil it for everyone. And then I have a cup for each of you, so you can be a little Viking with us.
Thank you.
We can put our probiotics in it.
So nice.
Yeah, it is.
That's awesome. We thank you very much. Yeah, I love these things. I just started using
do.
mine the other day.
I love those stuff. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank your hardworking staff. They're appreciated.
Fourth grade elementary track meet tomorrow, 3:15. We would love to see you.
I'd love to be there. It'll be what I'm gonna do. How many days left of school? Yeah.
Those are seniors.
I love it. I love that. In the county, that it kind of varies because I'm getting all sorts of questions when I see kids come in. I got 2 more days. So it's kind of, everybody is down to the end. So this is kind of exciting. Okay. Presentation of the David L. Fields Excellent in Teaching Awards.
That's you.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Just so everybody knows how this is going to go, as the principal introduces the recipient would come up with the principal. Once they do their speech, then we'll present you with your award, and then the next person will come up. So having said that, good evening. I'm Bob Richard, and I'm the Executive Director of the Danville Public School Foundation, where our mission is to help provide enhanced educational opportunities for the children attending Danville Public Schools. And tonight I'm here with our Development Director, Stephanie Yates.
Hi, everybody.
DEA President, Alan Rivers. And the board BOE President, Doc Ashton, to help present the Dr. David L. Fields Excellence in Teaching Awards. The Dr. David L. Excellence in Teaching Awards were established by the Danville Public School Foundation in 2001 and named in honor of Dr. Fields, who retired as the Danville Superintendent of Schools after serving 40 years with the district as a teacher, principal, and superintendent. It was Dr. Fields who wished that this award be presented to outstanding teachers each year. They are bestowed upon the outstanding teacher from the primary, intermediate, and high school levels. Teachers receiving this award award represent the finest in teaching, demonstrating a continuing dedication to their students and to their profession. They are the best of the best. Along with this formal recognition, the district provides a $500 stipend for educational supplies for the honorees' choice to further enhance the educational environment in their classroom. The DEA provides a custom award. The Board of Education also provides a certificate, and the foundation provides each recipient with a cash award of $500. The Danville Public School Foundation and the Danville Community Consolidated School District 118 are honored to announce the recipients of this year's Excellence in Teaching Awards, and helping us tonight are the recipients' principals. So introducing Kara Heil will be Danville High School Jacob Bretz, the principal. Introducing Jessica Marble from Southview Upper Elementary will be Mrs. Robin Fluno, and introducing Chelsea McKenna from Southwest Elementary will be Mr. Charles Prophet. Mr. Bretz.
You just gonna stand back there? Good evening, Dr. Geddes and board. I'm here to welcome the principal of Danville High School, Mr. Bretz. I'm here to present Mrs. Kara Heil. She has worked at Danville High School for the last 13 years, starting in 2011. Also a proud graduate of Danville High School. She works in our Career and Technical Education Department, currently instructing photography and multimedia broadcasting. So I'm trying to summarize my notes of a longer write-up that you probably don't want me to read. Instructionally, I've had the privilege of observing her the last few years, actually. And it's fair to say students thrive in her classroom. They learn important technical and computer-based skills that are transferable and applicable in the world of work, and that will help them as they move forward in whatever they do after DHS. Students have extensive choice in how they complete their projects and tasks in her classroom, and the projects are framed in a way because of the extensive choice that students are interested in them, and the projects are authentic and many times lead to specific improvements in and around the school or contributions to other district projects. I think it's fair to say the word is out that if you need any quality audio-visual production done in the district, you call Mrs. Heil. I think that has gotten around both DHS to other schools and even down here to the central office, as she has done things for the superintendent's office, human resources, administration from other schools. Made a wonderful video for our health clinic. I see Ms. Hoskins over there and helping us promote that. She does our daily Channel 1 news. She is thankfully for me, taking over the Daily Bell music, which sometimes I wonder if it helps kids get to class on time, but then when we have to turn it off, they ask where it is, so that makes me feel good. Sometimes I have to turn it off for things like AP testing. She's a huge player in recording and live streaming events at the high school, and I think if you have seen the newspaper or the yearbook anytime since she has taken over, along with the help of Mrs. Howard, you know that she's the right person for those two jobs as well. What I do love most, though, is how she leverages projects around the school and in the district and lets the students get involved so they can be firsthand involved in improving the district or seeing a real life positive outcome of their work within her class. Also want to mention she's a member of our PBIS team. And she hit up Bob for some money earlier for 18 televisions and a streaming system. So next year we should have 18 TVs in and around the high school to improve our student-based communication. And Skip is more than happy to pitch in on the electrical costs. Thank you. So Mrs. Kara Heil, she's more than deserving, and we're glad to have her at Danville High School.
I'm Robin Fluno, and I am the principal at Southview Upper Elementary, and I'm honored to introduce to you Jessica Marble. We do not refer to her as Jessica Marble. We refer to her as J Marble because we have her sister A Marble also in our building. So it gets confusing. J Marble, I couldn't live day to day without her. She is sixth grade resource, but she also is all things special ed and all things children. When we get any information on a child, we call J Marble. Come help us translate this into what we understand. And she comes. She's part of our leadership team. She's part of our crisis team. She can talk to any kid and get them to calm down. She can train any adult to do that as well if they just listen to what she says. I've learned to listen to her. Yes, she's amazing. She's been in the district since 2016-17, and hopefully she's going to stay here at least as long as I stay here and with me at Southview, because it just wouldn't be the same without her. She always carries a radio, so when you hear a call for help, or she hears a call for help, always, she is right there. Always. She is the one that holds the kids at the starting gate each and every morning, because we hold them in place till 8:55, and she's at that door, and she'll hold her phone up each and every morning and does the countdown backwards from 10 with all the kids that are in that hallway. And she can time it just perfect each and every morning so that the bell goes off when her clock hits 0, and those kids are silent down that hallway. When it hits 0, then off they go. So she's amazing. There's nothing she can't do. And by the way, Dr. Ashton, she is also a self-proclaimed science nerd.
Yeah.
Because before she became special ed, she was also a science teacher. So she's amazing. If you don't know her, you should, because she is truly amazing.
Good job.
Good evening. I'm Charles Profit, principal at Southwest Elementary, and it was with great honor that I nominated Chelsea Mickna as the 2024 Dr. David L. Fields Outstanding Teacher. Mrs. Mickna has worked in the Danville School District for 7 years and is a special education teacher for grades K through 4 at Southwest Elementary. She truly understands the needs of all of our students, not just hers, but all of our students, and researches the best solutions before embarking on a path to success for both those students and adults. She exhausts all avenues to garner student support where everyone can obtain success. Mrs. Mickna serves Southwest Elementary in the key roles of avid coach, PBIS committee member, mentor teacher, leadership team, problem-solving team member, special education team member, and she also provides professional development to our staff in the areas of AVID, and works with our math and ELA coaches as well. Within each of these areas, Chelsea advocates for students' needs and the success of all students within the school. She supports students in their academic learning, social emotional needs, as well as teachers, and working with them for the best way to help all of our students. She also in turn provides additional social emotional learning, professional development to the students or to the staff. She's driven to provide the best learning environment for everyone. She fosters the belief and duty to students, teachers, and district, promoting the best within everyone. She demonstrates how our work determines the success of all students. Ms. Chelsea Mickna is essential to the students and staff, our school, and our district, and she truly exemplifies an outstanding district in D118. Chelsea Mickna.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Foundation Board. Appreciate that very much. Yes, no, thank you, and congratulations once again. The outstanding. That was great. Next, we should. Oh, this is going to be fun. Yeah, come on up.
Dr. Geddes, board, thank you so much for having us this evening. What a wonderful evening of some really amazing accolades in the district. We are proud to be here tonight. The show choirs have had just an amazing season, and here at the end of the year, I just thought it was going to be a great time to just kind of tell you how really, truly amazing some of these students have been at DHS this year. We ended the season with 6 total Grand Champion awards, which is truly unheard of. Thank you. And we beat a couple records along the way as well. It is the first time in D118 history that all 3 show choirs have won a Grand Champ in the same season. So that means that, yes, executives won a Grand Champ, contemps won 2 Grand Champs this year, and delegation very close to almost undefeated season with 3 Grand Champs and a second place. But 6 total is just, I mean, it is the season that a coach or a sponsor dreams of. And I also wanted to kind of take this opportunity to mention Miss Lewis back there. She is shyer than I am, and she does not get recognized as often as she should, but she is there every day, and whenever we go to a competition, it's always, this group is choreographed by this person, this group is arranged by this person, directed by this person, but really, who is there in the trenches making sure that our students are successful every single day with me is Miss Lewis, and she's amazing. She gets up at 4 in the morning and is there with me, and we get home at 2 a.m. sometimes from show choir competitions, and she is making sure the kids are fed, that they are eating, that they have rides to and from, and you know, she's a shoulder to lean on when they need it, and she's just a really amazing attribute to this district, and I just wanted to say thank you while I had the opportunity. And so for those of you that got to see us at the retirement dinner last week, hopefully you could tell firsthand that these kids are not just excellent singers, but they are poised and respectful and amazing members of this community as well. And I think I'm probably more proud of that than I am of a lot of trophies. So that is really important to me. And so I will stop talking and I will let you hear from them. I'll come this way. Serenity, you want to come up first?
I have everything written down. Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Serenity Reed. I was a dance captain for the Contemporaries. I enjoyed and will enjoy for my next opportunity of being dance captain for delegation because I absolutely love getting the opportunity to help dancers become better in building their confidence in their dancing ability and just overall becoming better in their talents. And I find lots of joy in getting to know people and learning everyone's different talents and personalities. As you can see on the board, I have won 4 Outstanding Performer awards in a row, and at one of the competitions, I won Outstanding Performer for both Contemporaries and Delegation in a day. And that has been such a blessing for me. Each time I had won these awards, it was such a different experience, but also a beautiful one. All the awards look different, but I was so happy with each and every one of them. My hard work has definitely paid off, and I am very grateful. I have been dancing for over 10 years, and I plan to continue for more. Thank you.
Next up, we'll have Gavin Baugh.
Hello, my name is Gavin Baugh. I am the president of executives. I'm here to talk about the success that I had inside the wonderful success that we had of all of show choir. During the season, I had won 2 overall Best Soloist in Show awards for delegation, and within one of those awards, I was granted a scholarship to go to Show Choir Camps of America, which is free of charge. I'm extremely excited to be able to have the opportunity to experience such a fun week. I also had the opportunity to participate in solo competition twice. This is a separate division of the comp where students perform individually. Solo comp is a great opportunity to hear other people's opinions on just your voice solely. The first solo comp that I had this year, I placed second overall. And then the second time, I had placed second. Both times, they were definitely different experiences, but also great ones. Thank you.
So for those of you that don't know, the show choirs and the choirs in general also got the opportunity to go to New Orleans and see some pretty amazing things. And so here's Andrea Downing with a little recap of that trip.
Hi everyone, I'm Andrea Downing, and I'm going to talk a little bit about New Orleans and our trip that we took over spring break. So we went a lot of places and we got to see a lot of things in New Orleans, one of them being museums. We went to the Mardi Gras Museum, and there's a picture up there of that. We got to see some floats. And then we also went on a swamp tour. We got to see alligators in person, which was scary, but it was fun. And we got to hold baby alligator, which was really cool, even though a lot of us didn't want to, but we did it anyways because where else are you going to get an experience like that? And then we got to see jazz in real life by like professionals who are amazing. And one of the reasons why we went to New Orleans in the first place was because we have a really strong and talented vocal jazz ensemble at DHS. And being able to go and see authentic jazz in real life was just an incredible experience. And I know we're all grateful for what we got to see and experience, and I wouldn't trade the experience I had for anything. Thank you.
And lastly, we will have Lainey DeVores. She just had her last day of school today.
Hi. I think I have kind of a very interesting outlook on the show choir program because I didn't join until my junior year. Before that, I had really honestly kind of dug my hands into everything to try to find like my niche, I guess. I did volleyball. I did a little bit of student council. I still am in marching band. But I really don't feel like I actually found, I really don't, it's kind of corny, but like my home at school until I got into the choir room and got around all of these wonderful people. They almost give you like a second family to be around at school. I feel like before my junior year, I wasn't fully comfortable in myself and like the school environment in general, just because I'm pretty shy and I get really like awkward around other people. But show choir kind of, for lack of a better word, gave me my voice. And it taught me how to love myself. It taught me how to love others. It taught me how to speak in front of people. And it's been a really great experience that I feel like has taught me a lot of skills that I can take into my adult life going forward. And I also, like, not gonna lie, this year being my senior year was really, really nice because of how successful it was. It's just really, really nice to be a part of a group that, like, your fruits of labor are actually, like, there. But yeah, I just feel like I'm so incredibly thankful for Mr. Thomas and Mrs. Lewis especially for how much they're there for us, not only in like class but also out of class. Like there are multiple times during the year where I've had a hard time, and I've been able to go to Mrs. Lewis or Mr. Thomas and just have like a second and calm myself down and have an adult there that can like help me along with that. And yeah, I'm really, really thankful to have a home at school pretty much. So thank you.
So again, what an amazing season. Thank you for everybody's support and your continued support. We really appreciate you. We could not do it without all of you. Thank you very much, and we'll see you at a concert.
Oh, wow. We're going to pass these out. Let's go ahead and, y'all stand, pass it out. How was, okay, there we go. Go ahead and pass these out to the board members.
Thank you, guys.
Good evening. My name is First Sergeant Powell. I happen to be the senior army instructor for the JROTC program here at Danville High School. I'd like to thank the board for having me, and a lot of you have already talked to me and seen and out to our programs and things, and I really appreciate your support and everything, and the parents. And see, these are some of the kids that are now at the end of the year. We've elected our new battalion commander, sergeant major, and our XO is our battalion commander right here is Cadet Miller. Give him a round of applause. Our XO is Cadet Allie Rogers, Cadet Major Allie Rogers. Give her a round of applause. And our Cadet Sergeant Major is Cadet Sergeant Major Wyatt Bradshaw. Give him a round of applause. Now, for the military ball, these will be the individuals that'll be running the grog next year when y'all come. Now, you have a handout. I've only got 5 to 7 minutes, and Miss Robinson's already taking me outside, turning me upside down, shaking all the change out of my pocket. Said first on 5, 7 minutes. So I'm going to talk pretty fast. It's hard for us. As well as we've done this year, it's hard to say, to condense it all in 5 minutes. But my hope is that you would take this home and say, hey, let me just see what JROTC has done this entire year, all right, and how we have made, or how we were proud to represent Danville and in every shape, form, or fashion. So, Dr. Gaddis, I'd like to say for our seniors, the first picture on it, we're going to go through this real quick, like I told you, Ms. Robinson. And now, one of the pictures on the, and just have them stroll through so everybody else could see all the things we've done. But they said it would break the system, so we left it alone. 107 slides. I think I've broken the record with that, with the principal and Miss Robinson. But real quick, I'd like to thank the principals, Dr. Funo, Mr. Gurley, and also my principal for supporting the archery program. That was a real standout. But Dr. Gaddis, getting back to that point, thank you for what we did for our seniors. 3 of them will be there for graduation, and but they really wanted me to tell you they really appreciate you and the mayor. That day, and the parents that day in the sun that evening, for them being recognized and stuff. Because some of them won't be back for graduation, but right then that really made it special. The next one that you'll see is their last day ever together. Okay, and they're working on their placard. JROTC, you see the mission. You also see the values and things there. You don't have to go into the military and everything, but leadership, STEM, we're working on those things. Kids will find out what their gist is. They don't have to do everything. We got many of them wearing different hats, but they don't have to do everything. But out of all what we offer, and you can see our extracurricular structure going to like the 20th slide, our drill team, our color guard team, our archery team, which the principals allow us to have a feeder program, our JLab team, and then our robotics team. And hopefully y'all approve my stipend for the robotics. I worked all year for that 4 hours a week in 2 competitions, and we had a chance to go to the world. I worked with Mr. Redmond. And but he just had a baby. So first time I can't do it. Can't take kids. I got a newborn, and I understand that. Got a set of twins, 5 grandkids. So when they come like that, you know, you got to give mom a little break and stuff like that. So he couldn't take them. That was in Dallas, Texas. So we don't have any exploits for that. But all right, going to the next one. All right, service learning projects. JROTC has a method of community outreach in which what we do. There are all of the organizations that we had the opportunity to touch. Okay, flip it over, and some pictures of our battalion commander holding puppies and loving puppies at the animal shelters. Community service, we also do that. Community service, what they're directed to do. Service learning is what they want to do, and they learn. All right, community service is what they're directed to do. 2 situations that I'd like to highlight. Just this past weekend, we just had the kids to take over the veteran gardens at the American Legion. They had the flowers to come up, so they're potting that and resoiling that from the winter to the spring. And then also December 16th of last year, we had a group of students, and also with the parents help too. The Reefs Across America, it's a nationwide program where they lay wreaths to the fallen veterans and things like that. Well, our kids, they're all dressed, they're looking good, standing tall, looking good. Means a lot to the parents to ceremoniously set a wreath at their gravesite. So they're on taking things like that. At that same day, we also had a robotics tournament. Okay, so we're flipping it over. Car shows, we had 2 car shows. Fundraisers, got to have a lot of money because it costs a lot of money to do what we do. We are pretty much funding 3 levels of archery for pretty much every weekend for 7 or 8 months. Archery is all year, and we start in September. It culminates in April with the national tournament. So these car shows that we have, and we kind of like the car shows too. I'm gonna probably buy me one and everything. Now that I bought a house, I can probably have a place to buy a car if my wife will let me and stuff. And I'll flip that over, going over. I'm not over time, am I, Ms. Robinson? I'm already over time in 5 minutes. I can't believe that. Okay, our 3rd Brigade, hey, SAV, our 3rd Brigade, hey, the longevity, our commander and their parents, good support. JCLC, We went to Michigan for a whole week and everything. We did a lot of things. So if you flip the page, you'll see all those adventurous things: drown proofing, kayaking, wall climbing, rappelling, first aid, rock climbing, all those things. I gave you a lot of pictures. We did have a color gardener drill. Most notably, we went up to Chicago. The board was there. We posted those colors. We had pictures with Dr. Gaddis and Miss Corley and stuff like that. It was real nice and everything. Drill, we did that. And then the highlight our archery. So we get to archery. Our archery, most schools will not have non-JROTC and JROTC together because it's a hard thing to do. But we're trying to open it up because it doesn't matter if you're in JROTC or not to be a good archer. It's all Danville High School, but then at the end, JROTC says, we have our own competition. So y'all go over here and compete. We happen to do both. We compete in both, and we happen to do both. So when I say bullseye, that's the target with the gold in the middle. And when I say 3D, that's the one they're shooting at animals, not real animals. They're props, they're prototypes, and stuff like that. But if you, and now I didn't number the page, so I apologize about that, but you get to see the range set up. All right, we did have the opportunity to host 2 tournaments here, and that will introduce us to or give us a lead in to host the state tournaments next year. They love the facilities and the resources that we have here to be able to do that. We do have, I'd like to have a shout out for Northridge, their team, Mr. and Mrs. Baker. I spent more time with them, 7 hours in a week. They're the coaches of the Northridge team, and they got 3rd in the state in 3D. And we started the feeder program, which just enhances our team. Not too many schools will do both bullseye and 3D because this is a difficult shot at 3D. So if you flip it, but they did not. There's their trophy right there. So I'd like to give a shout out to them real quick. And I'm about finished. Am I on time, Miss Robinson? Okay. We went to the Nationals last year, and we brought home 3 trophies. All right, we went to the Nationals this year. We brought home 2 trophies, 2 years in a row. We had the top archer. We had the top archer in bullseye and combined bullseye and 3D. Last year it was a Cadet Apache. This year it's the one standing in front of you, Cadet Rogers, and you'll see her pictures there. She had the total nationally JROTC. She had the best score in both, but combined. And then she was the top one in 3D. That's the harder shot. Okay, give her a round of applause, please. So we did about 16 tournaments through the year. We competed against Centennial. We competed against Champaign. They have like 16 teams. We can beat like 12 of those teams, but 5 of those teams you're not going to touch. They're that good. So we competed civilian-wise, and also we competed JROTC-wise. So when it got to the state with JROTC, and you can see it doesn't have a pace, but just you'll find it, the archery team. We had out of 15 teams that qualified for the state. Okay, with JROTC, we got second in bullseye. We got second out of 15 JROTC. Then they said, well, that's JROTC. You don't find, you're not against the shooters. Okay, so guess what? We went to the civilian side, and out of 62 teams, we got 9th. We got 9th. Give them a round of applause. So that's on the civilian side. That's the center shot. So then we went on to 3. We went on to 3D, and went on to 3D, and we got second. We got first in 3D, and the other ones got second. So a lot of things we do with JROTC, a lot of college invites, educational. Our goal is to that they graduate high school. My purpose is not that you have a goal, but you got a plan. All right, because if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. No ifs, ands, or buts, either those or no's. Got what you're playing. So these kids are the ones that want to take to fill the shoes of the outstanding ones that did it last year, and I think they can. They're a year younger, but they're motivated about leading the way because they demonstrated leadership potential. The last thing, the end of year ceremony, we did well. It was catered by the local that's in Covington, that's Salisbury steak. Macaroni and cheese, broccoli. It was real good, made me happy. And board, I really like the teacher appreciation those burgers. I'm still ranting about those. I really like that. I'm still happy about that. So I was real hungry that day, but those burgers were real good. And they weren't cheap burgers. They were thick burgers. I can tell you, it wasn't nothing you just threw and stuff. But I know I'm talking about something else. But JROTC, just want to tell you had an outstanding team. And the end of year awards for all what we do. I can't tell you everything in the level of details, but everything is in the packet. Okay, so take it home. So when you come see us, you'll know something about what these kids are going to do. We'll have a better team next year with more coaching and everything like that. Any questions? Any questions? Did I go over, Miss? Did I went over 7 minutes? My God. I went over. Did I go? Okay, 11 minutes. That's not bad. Okay. Listen.
Congratulations to your cadets.
Yes.
I have to say, the uniforms, they look awesome. Wherever they're at, they look absolutely awesome. And they always seem, and we hate to say that, but I mean, their decorum is absolutely impeccable. So you guys really represent Danville well. We certainly do appreciate it. Yeah, kudos on all your success. Thank you guys.
Did the students want to say something? First sergeant.
Yeah.
Just one of you? One of you want to say
Did y'all
something?
want to?
I'll even stand up here with you. I'll stand up here.
All right. Well, I didn't.
Your time's up. I'll stand up here with you.
Listen to lawyers yielding his time.
Your kid can't go through a whole year.
So the JROTC well, I'd like to say good evening to everybody here, and I'd like to say that the JROTC program means a lot to me, just as more as to many of the other cadets around the Danville High School. And I would just like to say that it teaches a lot about leadership, respect, and responsibility. And, you have to plan for the future. You can't just look on the past and think that everything's going to be okay. You always have to be prepared for the future and what's next. If you're not prepared for the future, it's like First Sergeant said, you plan to fail. So we want to make sure that a lot of these younger cadets are going to be successful in life and making sure that they have their future planned. And we want to make sure that that we are, good as a battalion and we are prepared and ready for the future and to run the program in a successful way.
Cool.
Good job.
Yeah, that was very well done.
Good evening, board. Dr. Geddes, I am Tanner DeLawyer, principal at Mead Park Elementary. I am one of the chairs of the Ownership and Education Committee with Mr. Scott Vogel. We had members from all levels represented, and DEA. Mr. Hart called me and he asked me, hey, when's OIE getting going? I said, well, that's usually Mrs. Fluno and Mrs. Porter. Well, they stepped down from it this year, and Mr. Vogel and I were like, okay, well, we'll dive into it. When's our first meeting? Soon. Okay, all right. But we're lucky because I've been fortunate to be on the committee for the past couple of years, and last year was an overhaul of the whole ownership and ed. Our attorneys kind of combed through that thing, tore it apart. So this year it made for minimal changes. We had a few language things. We brought our extracurriculars from saying grade 7 through grade 12 down to the 5th grade, since they are now competitive athletics. I believe we actually took it down to grade 4, right, Mr. Vogel? So because of our 4th graders compete at a semi-competitive level too. We have an elementary track meet tomorrow at 3:15. But very few changes in the whole document. Mr. Hart said our attorneys went through it. We had a final meeting on May 7th. It was pretty quiet. I checked around with everyone. I checked with Mr. Rivers and the DEA, and we were happy with the changes we made. I think it's a good representation for our students, our families, our teachers, and administration. It's very clear, to the point, and I think it outlines our student rights, our discipline policies. It aligns with board policy 7.190. So, and I know as administrators that's clear cut for us. So it's our first reading. Mrs. Eisenhower, I'm going to meet with her and go through the back end of it for some directory items, add in the suicide hotline with our violence tip hotline, and we're going to move forward for publishing. So, do you guys have any questions regarding ownership and ed?
Any questions? Okay, thank you.
Awesome.
Okay, thank you for your first reading. Okay, item 10, Carl Health Lease Agreement.
Good evening, everyone. So tonight we have for your consideration, board, the lease agreement for the former Carl building on Vermillion. It has been reviewed by our attorneys. It has been reviewed by Carl's attorneys, and that's why we have the addendum. I hope both pieces are attached. The last issue that we did get resolved is that I apologize. I said roof. The roof was going to be replaced. It's not. It is the rooftop unit. Big difference. I got it, Skip. So it is the rooftop unit. And because there is a 15-week delay, that's why you will see that we've entered the date of, I believe it's November or October, March, I think maybe we put in there. Because they didn't want to commit to a date and then have the supply issues that they're facing. So we have that in there. We did clarify the issue with the certificate of liability insurance, Ms. Rankin, and Marty said that was fine. And so I have for your consideration this evening the lease and the addendum on 2300 North Vermillion for a period of 10 years with a one-time renewal at our, we have the ability to do a one-time renewal. They certainly hope we do more than that, but it's at our option.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments?
I do want to say one thing, initially, and I don't want, because I need to take, Skip is like, what is she gonna say?
Okay, go ahead.
We do have the issue of the timing of how we can get everything done. I know we have the plan for downstairs for alternative and 2 classrooms and the daycare. It may seem that one of those things upstairs may be done sooner than the other because of staffing for the construction project. So, yes, Mr. Truex, I acknowledge that we may need just a little more time. But we do intend to open on the first day of school in some capacity. Isn't that right, Mr. Truex?
Whatever you say, boss.
I'll make a comment. Wow, I think that's rather ambitious, and if that were to occur, that would be awesome. But there's a lot that has to be done this summer. Look around. So, good luck with that, and I'm sure we'll do the best we possibly can to hit that target. But there's always unforeseen things that come up, and I'm sure we're going to encounter them with this. Any other questions or comments?
I just want to say well done and also acknowledge Mrs. Holleran because she was really pivotal in being able to get all the moving pieces in place to get this accomplished for the district. So well done, Ms. Holleran. Thank you, and Dr. Geddes as well.
And with that, I want to say thank you to the officials at Carl. And I neglected to say this before, but they very much want a footprint in this community beyond healthcare and including healthcare. They are committed to Danville, as you could tell with their brand new building and all that they've done there. There's a huge commitment to our community, and this is just one more step in that direction that they are an integral part. And so thank you to you all agree that they were so wonderful to work with. They were super. So thank you to them.
Okay. With that, roll call. Voting on Carl Health Lease Agreement 2300 North Vermillion. Roll call vote, please.
Mrs. Corley?
Yes.
Mrs. Schrader?
Yes.
Elder Park?
Yes.
Pastor Miller?
Yes.
Mrs. Howard?
Yes.
Ms. Payne? Yes. Dr. Ashton?
Yes, motion passes 7-0. Thank you very much. Item 11.
So I'm officially requesting that we change the June 19th board meeting. When we set the calendar, we failed to take into account that June 19th is a holiday and the school has to be closed. So I'm asking if we can move that June 19th board meeting to a very ambitious date of June 5th. And that will be the one board meeting we will have in June.
Is that like next week? Whatever, or that, here, someone has to make a motion next.
Move to approve.
You have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Motion second. Any questions or comments? I'll keep them to myself. Roll call vote, please.
Good idea.
You.
Mrs. Schreider?
Yes.
Elder Park?
Yes.
Ms. Payne?
Yes.
Mrs. Holler?
Yes.
Pastor Miller?
Yes.
Ms. Porter?
Yes.
Dr. Ashton?
Yes, motion passes 7-0. Thank you very, very much. See you all on the 5th. On the item 12, an amended calendar.
Imagine that.
But it also says here it's a first reading, but we're gonna vote on it.
It's a first reading. I'll come back on June 5th and we can vote on it then. Good evening. Good evening, board. Dr. Geddes. I'm John Hart. I'm the assistant superintendent. And I'm here to ask you for approval to amend our calendars. That's Northeast traditional and pre-K calendars. The calendar was beautiful, very well thought out. And then we really started watching our attendance. And our attendance fell so much on our half days to like 64% in some of our schools.
Wow.
So we are removing those half days from our calendar, and tough year to do it with a new reading pilot and the professional development, but we are going to make it happen. So I will be back to you for your approval at the next board meeting. If you have questions, please contact me.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 13. 13A, McKinney-Vento Laundry Facility.
Good evening, Board of Education. I'm Kelly Truex and Dr. Geddes. I'm Kelly Truex, the Director of Educational Support. And I have Mrs. Kuchevsky here with me today, our McKinney-Vento Liaison and Grants Coordinator, and Ms. Sollers, the Principal at Mark Demon Elementary. We are here today, I guess I should say what McKinney-Vento is. And McKinney-Vento is a state initiative for our homeless population. And the American Rescue Plan gave us a McKinney-Vento grant. And it will end September 30th, 2024. We need to liquidate these funds. So we would like your approval for an on-site laundry facility at Mark Demon Elementary for our McKinney-Vento families or those at risk of being McKinney-Vento district-wide. The facility would be located on the northeast corner of Mark Demon with no access to student areas, only an outside access. The laundry facility or families would make appointments with building home liaisons, social workers, or principals during school hours. The home liaisons would monitor those appointments, and we would like to purchase 3 commercial washers, 3 commercial dryers, 6 laundry chairs, 2 laundry folding tables, some laundry detergent, and various laundry items. And the plumbing, electrical, and flooring will be updated. I've talked with Mr. Truex about this, and he's agreed to take care of that in-house, but the grant will cover the cost. And the total cost for this will be approximately $45,000. It worked out well because Mrs. Sollers had this idea in the beginning, and when Mrs. Kuchevsky came to me and asked about this, I mentioned it to Skip, and he said, "Oh, Mrs. Sollers has this idea already." So it was a collaboration between the 3 of us. We're very excited to offer this to our McKinney-Vento families. Yes.
You said you're gonna buy 3 washers and 3
Hang on,
commercial washers.
we need to have a motion first.
Sorry.
I move to approve.
Thank you.
Second.
Okay, yes, go ahead.
So how many families will be in there at a time?
Well, Mrs. Kuchevsky has the statistics on our homeless population, and she can let you know. I don't foresee it to be probably more than 1 family at a time.
We want it to be very controlled. That's why
Yes.
it's going to be by appointment only.
With
and,
monitoring.
Yeah, yeah. And kind of it'll be interesting in the beginning to see how much the use is, and then maybe we'll have to change what regulations or guidelines we put in place just as we learn as we go along. But we just think that one of the district goals that we have is to improve attendance, and you know this too, Ms. Payne, from your years. How many times do we hear that kids aren't at school today because they didn't
Don't
have
have
clean
clean
clothes?
clothes.
And if we can help alleviate just one more barrier, then we want to be able to do that.
I think it's an excellent idea.
And our homeless population has increased. We are up to 267 students right now. And the McKinney-Vento grant with the American Rescue Plan has just been really a blessing to us. We were able to provide hotels that we could never do before for at least a week at a time. Just a lot of things to our homeless population. And Mrs. Kaczewski, she goes just over and above for this population. She is just a fabulous person, and we want to thank Mrs. Sollers for offering to have that in her building.
The largest thing is when we get these grants that are short term, you get, these funds for 2 years, 3 years. And the meeting I went to in the fall this year, they started to put the pressure on, your time's running out, what have you. And they started talking about ways to, how are you gonna use the fund, what's the best way? And so many times it's like, we have something, we do great things, and then it's gone. And so I really wanted to put, thoughts together on what can we do to be a little more long lasting, so when this money's gone, it's still beneficial to our district and our students. And then it just so happened that Ms. Sollers had this kind of idea in the works, and maybe some additional things in the future that she can add to it, or so be it. But it just worked out that we could kind of team up and make this something to hopefully be long lasting and very impactful for our families in District 118.
And we did communicate and ask every principal if they were good with that. And we had a majority of the principals said yes. If they all don't have washers or dryers.
I have a question about access, since the families we're talking about generally have transportation challenges. So I know you have a plan.
We do. We purchased the homeless van. Well, it's our community van. And so we
have delivered many things.
Yes, many things.
I've taken the
Community
seats
van.
out.
But the home liaisons would be able to transport. They already use our community van a lot. They check the van out. They come get it from our office. It's used a lot. So that's how we will provide transportation.
Thank you.
I did have a question along those lines. Given the population, our student homeless population is so high, is one van adequate, or do you need, for practical purposes, do we need more than one to really serve our?
I think you would say every school would say
We would love to have that because the home liaisons
like a
have
fleet.
Yeah, the home liaisons come to our office, and many times, it might be checked out by someone. So yes, we would love to do that. I will not be able to do that with grant funds. That was an ESSER thing, American Rescue Plan funds. But we're just so happy to have the one we have. But we would love to have as many vans as we could get. Yes.
Is that a motion?
No, you already gotta buy a truck for food service.
I'm not even looking at her because I always get that look from her.
I know.
There's no truck to buy.
Got no money.
Let's spend all the money.
Two things, maybe three. Yes, as you said, it's a fixed thing, and it's a good thing because yes, we do see programs come and go, and then we don't fund them, and they're gone. So this like a fixed asset thing, and that's good. Proposed cost is $45,000. Okay, in that area. We do have though the consideration of an ongoing maintenance that this has to be something that's going to be now we have to maintain it, and we're going to have to fix it or whatever. Which I think we just have to acknowledge that that's on us, okay? And we're going to do that. When we do that, we're going to be with that. The other one is because the McKinney-Vento is for homeless. There's also people that are challenged that aren't homeless. So are they going to be able to access also?
The way that grant was written for McKinney-Vento families or those
at
at risk
risk
of homelessness, so sometimes you are in unfortunate situations, and though you have a home, things may start to add up. So that's a stretchable. Yes, we're going to offer it to whoever may need it.
There you go.
Because, if they can't.
I mean,
Because
because I'm going,
They're at risk.
prove to me you're homeless, and then you can use
Yes,
this. I said, no, it's like, okay, you
It's
need
nice
it.
that the grant
You
was
can,
written
yeah.
loosely with that
Because I'm
definition.
thinking there's people who don't have facilities,
Right.
and they're, but they got lucky and they're living somewhere with somebody or whatever else. So so that they're employed.
It's more like along the lines, maybe they couldn't afford to have some of their own
Yeah,
because the
exactly.
other
Utilities.
bills cost so
yeah.
much, and if those got so large, then they might not be able to afford their rent, and then they may become homeless, right? So, it works.
This is great. No, it's great, and I'm
And we
glad to
checked with
see
our
that,
grant.
that we extend that and help the community, so.
It's
with-
approvable.
Yes. Okay, any other questions? If not, you're voting on McKinney-Vento Laundry Facility. Impact is 45,000 in grant, funded, money, and roll call
Dr.
vote, please.
Ashton?
Oh, yes.
Just a shout out to Ms. Sollers
Mhm.
for always having her eye on her kids and the needs in her building, and the fact that you had thought about it beforehand.
Okay, thank you. Roll call vote, please.
Mrs. Holler?
Yes.
Mrs. Strader?
Yes.
Elder Park?
Yes.
Ms. Payne?
Yes.
Pastor Miller?
Yes.
Mrs. Corley?
Yes.
Dr. Ashton?
Motion passes 7-0. Yes. Motion
Thank
passes
you
7-0.
very much. I know these two ladies will be super excited about that.
Thank you. We'll ask how that's going sometime in the future. Okay. That brings us to HR, new extra 14A, new extracurricular positions with a recommendation.
Compared
about
to
that.
the different.
Good evening, board and Dr. Geddes. Mark Bases, facilitator of district athletics for District 118. If I were in Congress today, I would yield the rest of my time to First Sergeant Powell, but I don't think I can today. But I would gladly yield all my time so he could speak some more. But I'm here tonight for, on behalf of District 118 and the DEA. Our joint extracurricular committee has met, as we talked before, for a number of months, and these are the new positions that we're recommending get approved tonight. Some of them you saw here tonight, some of the show choir stuff, ROTC, starting a robotics club. But so the positions are the AAC, that's a district-wide position, MTSS, district-wide position, Skills USA coach, that's at Danville High School, Madrigals stipend for the work that they do, Danville High School show choir assistant, Danville High School, the robotics club, Danville High School, and then Winter Guard at Danville High School. So I'm here for your approval tonight. Any questions for us?
Move to approve.
Second.
Sure. Any questions or comments?
I had a question on Winter Guard. Will that be a competitive team since this is a new team?
Yes. So they'll after this initial year, they're going to compete. I believe in year two, they're trying to compete in year one, but they weren't quite sure about finding competitions. They were up and running this year. Obviously, they didn't compete. They just wanted to sharpen their skills. So if they can find competitions, they'll go.
Okay.
Says facilitating a competitive Winter Guard program in
Correct.
Anyway.
Correct.
Okay, any other questions or comments? No? No? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Pastor Miller?
Yes.
Mrs. Strader?
Yes.
Ms. Payne?
Yes.
Mrs. Corley?
Yes.
Mrs. Holler?
Yes.
Elder Park?
Yes.
Dr. Ashton?
Yes. Motion passes 7-0.
All right, thank you all, and thanks to the committee for all their work. Tony Montgomery helps chair that with me. The second one I'm here for is just the updated job description for the athletic trainer for the district. As I talked last time during the first reading, the big change for this is that it's coming out of the extracurricular stipend and becoming a full-time position. As you have the description there in front of you, we also added the last piece, the professional performance expectations for District 118 employees. That was not on the previous one, and then just cleaned up some of the language since it was last updated in '94, if I remember that correctly. So a recommendation to approve for you guys.
Move approval.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? Fillable, easily? I'm looking at qualifications. I'm going, okay.
Geez, I don't even know what I can say here.
You really cannot?
Yes, it's fillable.
Thank you.
We're
Yeah,
very
that's all
hopeful.
he can say. It's fillable.
I like that optimism. Thank you very much.
Hopefully fillable soon. How about that?
There you go.
Probably
Okay.
tomorrow.
I like that optimism too. If we say yes.
That's correct.
If we say yes. So let's find out if there are any other further questions or comments. Seeing none, roll call vote, please. This is on athletic trainer job description.
Ms. Payne?
Yes.
Mrs. Corley?
Yes.
Elder Park?
Yes.
Pastor Miller?
Yes.
Mrs. Schrader?
Yes.
Mrs. Holland?
Yes.
Dr. Ashton?
Yes, motion passes 7-0. See how easy that is?
Thank you all again. Yeah, it was great. It's easy to tell you.
Yeah, we've been waiting for some of that for a long time. Okay, operations. That was a great game. You had to, when you would like take the little tweezers and not try to electrocute the guy taking this. Yeah, operation. 15A recommendation to accept bid for district on copy paper. Mike, this is
Exciting.
fascinating.
It's exciting.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Good evening, board. Dr. Geddes, Seth Oldfield, Director of Operations. And just as you said, I'm here with a recommendation to accept our annual copier printer paper supply bid. The lowest bid this year was from Garvey's Office Products, located in Niles, Illinois. The total price for 1,440 cases of paper is $48,816.
What say you, board?
Move to approve.
Second.
I got a motion, two motions and a second. We're rushing to approve copy paper because we know how valuable it is. Okay, so the motion in front of you, any questions or comments? I kind of was pulling for Wheeling, where I grew up, but they really lost, so it looks like Niles, good place to eat, Golf Mill. Let's see, so it is for $48,816. Okay, so for copy paper from Garvey's in Niles, Illinois, that's what you're voting on. Roll call vote, please.
Elder Park?
Yes.
Mrs. Holland?
Yes.
Mrs. Corley?
Yes.
Ms. Payne?
Yes.
Mrs. Schrader?
Yes.
Pastor Miller?
Yes.
Dr. Ashton?
Yes, motion passes 7-0. Thank you very much. We'll try not to use it all. But we will. We'll copy a lot of stuff. Food service, one of my favorite subjects in the world. Food.
That's wonderful. 'Cause
It's
I have a
service,
lot.
but food service. What do you have for us? The summer food service program recommendation.
Yes, I have 6.
See you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Again.
Good evening, board. Dr. Geddes. My name is Zeta Pijot. I'm the Director of Food Service. I'm here with 5 recommendations. The first one is for the summer feeding program. We will be sponsoring, or the plan is to offer food for all of the sites at the within the district that are hosting summer school, which includes Danville High School, Edison, Mark Denman, Mead Park, and Southview, as well as 3 satellite locations, one of which is the Central Christian Church, Laura Lee, and Community Action.
Okay.
I move we approve.
Second.
Okay, any questions or comments?
I do. Was this utilized last year? I mean, was it utilized well last year?
The program, well, there's 2 aspects. The regular one where we feed the students that's here for summer school. We served approximately 400 students for that. Then there's the community,
That's
which
the
we
one.
have, yes, we served, I think prior to last year, it had been maybe 25 to 50. We served over 300 last year, so, and kind of expect more this year.
Okay, thank you.
Just to be clear, Kenneth D. Bailey Summer School will be housed at Edison.
Yes, correct. I'm sorry. That's
Okay.
correct.
Okay.
Looking at the site at Central Christian Church, you are serving 75 students for breakfast, or 200 for lunch.
We're waiting on their numbers. It's the Project Success Program, and I think more students show up by lunchtime than they have at breakfast. And that will probably be the same for the community part as well. Last year with breakfast, we may have served 10 breakfasts, but for lunch, that's where we got over 300.
Okay. Voting on summer food service program. Roll call vote, please.
Mrs. Corby?
Yes.
Mrs. Schrader?
Yes.
Elder Park?
Yes.
Pastor Miller?
Yes.
Mrs. Holler?
Yes.
Ms. Payne?
Yes.
Dr. Ashton?
Yes, motion passes 7-0. That's 1 for 5.
That's one.
Okay, here you go. Let's see what you got now.
The Community Development Head Start Program, this was our first year that we partnered with them and provided breakfast, lunch, and a snack during regular school year. They requested an extension of the contract to get to take them from tomorrow, May 23rd, through June 30th, but in this case, it would be for lunch only.
Move to approve. Or
Okay.
second.
Okay, so I have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments?
I thought that Head Start wasn't serving our community now.
Well, they had 10 students,
Oh.
and so maybe we don't know what they're doing.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe they're growing.
The presence is small.
Because they still have the building over on
Right, on
and in
Voorhees.
that office. So they closed that big location that we were looking at, and they moved them into their office
Oh.
where they have a few students.
So they're still serving some, but it's minimal. But they've asked us for minimal service for, okay, I get it. Okay.
And I think we should be happy to help. Or
Just
help
like
the
that.
community. Exactly,
Mhm.
because that's how we are. Roll call vote, please.
Elder Park?
Yes.
Mrs. Holler?
Yes.
Mrs. Corby?
Yes.
Ms. Payne?
Yes.
Mrs. Schrader?
Yes.
Pastor Miller?
Yes.
Dr. Ashton?
Yes. You said yes, right? Okay. I didn't want to, no. Motion passes 7-0. Thank you. That's 2 for 5. Let's see what you got.
3 is the same program, but for next school year. So this program will run from August 26th to May 30th, 2025. Breakfast, lunch, and snack.
Move approval.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments on this?
But we don't know what that's gonna be, right?
We don't.
We don't know.
We don't.
So
They have some projections, but they are just that, projections.
we can revisit this if,
If it gets too much for them to handle, we
Okay.
certainly can. Yes, ma'am.
okay.
I think that's be a good idea.
Yeah. Okay, roll call vote, please.
Mrs. Corby?
Yes.
Mrs. Schrader?
Yes.
Elder Park?
Yes.
Pastor Miller?
Yes.
Mrs. Holler?
Yes.
Ms. Payne?
Yes.
Dr. Ashton?
Yes, motion passes 7-0. 16D.
Okay. This is a recommendation for Cross Point Human Services requesting food service for lunch only for next school year. For them, they'd like to start June 5th and run until May 30th, 2025.
Move to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments on this?
I'm confused. Is this another Head Start program at Cross Point?
A daycare, I'm sorry.
Oh, this is the daycare program.
Yes, this is the Cross Point daycare, I'm sorry, yes.
And what children do they serve? Just,
Mr. Hart?
Cross Point, it's like the women's shelter, so children that they have, and a lot of times when families are out looking for employment or what have you, then their children are part of that, so.
okay,
That's approximately 60 students.
60?
Okay.
And we have the staff. You're not worried about our staff being overburdened by all these extra.
No, they're the way we're preparing the food.
We asked them, they just.
They're coming up shortly, so we can. But so far, we've been able to handle it. But that's why we're doing 1-year contracts, so that if it is too much, we can revisit it and not take them on, but I was doing it out of support of the community.
Because they really had nowhere else to go to get the food.
Yeah. I didn't solicit one single recommendation I have here, I promise.
So we make the food and then we deliver it to them?
Yes.
Okay.
And how's it funded?
The national,
It's a reimbursement.
It's the national program.
we
Yes.
get
Okay.
reimbursed for it.
So it's a cater to us, but it's reimbursed through the same federal program.
But Ms. Corley, I'm glad you asked how it gets there, because next board meeting, we're gonna need to talk about the truck to get it there, because we're kind of sharing right now with Buildings and Grounds.
Out of order.
Look, did Ms. Rankin make you do that?
Yeah, I could do that.
Ms. Rankin said, no more money.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to come back to that.
You're welcome. Right before you though, we have Cross Point Food Service Agreement. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Mrs. Schrader?
Yes.
Elder Park?
Yes.
Ms. Payne? Mrs. Holler?
Yes.
Pastor Miller?
Yes.
Mrs. Corley?
Yes.
Dr. Ashton?
Yes, motion passes 7-0. 16E, you're on a roll.
Alrighty. This is a recommendation for changing our purchasing agent. We've been a part of a co-op for, I think, 10 years. This particular one, HPC, is a larger organization that in 1 year we can have a savings of approximately $80,000, half of which $40,000 just from the regular cost of the food purchasing through HPS versus the previous co-op. It's approximately $40,000, and then another $40,000 in savings from rebates and incentives. The other thing that I liked about the HBC program is it's more centered around the students here. We were a part of a co-op that serviced more students on the northern end of Illinois, so the needs for food was different. So I was constantly challenged with finding discounts on quantities of food because their students ate differently than the students in this area. It's just a different need. They also provide, they take away the bidding for bread, the linen, produce, milk. It's all a part of their contract. So I would like to recommend we change the agents.
Move we approve.
Second.
Is this a 1-year contract?
Yes.
So we can revisit it whenever you change. There's always things you don't think about. So we can
Yes.
visit it again and see how it's gone.
Yes, we can. It's an
Okay.
annual contract. The food now, the food distributor, it's the same. GF Gordon's is who we purchase food
Okay.
from. That stays the same. The difference is with the first co-op, we had 750 items. With this purchasing agent, it's over 3,000 items. So our
Okay.
options are larger.
Okay, any other questions or comments? Okay, we're voting on using our different purchasing agent. Roll call vote, please.
Mrs. Schrader?
Yes.
Elder Park?
Yes.
Mrs. Holler?
Yes.
Pastor Miller?
Yes.
Ms. Payne? Yes. Mrs. Corley?
Yes.
Dr. Ashton?
Yes, motion passes 7-0.
Okay. So I go. Okay. So the last one, if I can have Miss Linda and Miss Tina Jones to join me. I don't know. This was the end of our second year with the school market, which is a program that we collaborate with the Eastern Illinois Food Bank, where they give us funds to purchase items for students or families in the district to shop solely just for the district families. The market the pantry that's on Saturday, that's open to anyone in the area. The one on Wednesday, the school market, is just for the students. This past year, we were able to provide meals, 16,944 meals. When I say we, I've been the pencil pusher. Miss Linda and Miss Tina every week have ordered food, gotten together, sorted food, got volunteers to help with servicing during, most of the time it was on board days, so I was here or somewhere. They handled everything, and I also want to acknowledge Mr. Basie, who he would either bring students out or he would come out himself and just help the two of them, and they did it with a smile, which was the best part about it. So thank you, ladies, for such a wonderful job. We are changing. I'm sorry, I do want to just mention, this past year we were able to provide the program at Kenneth Bailey, Mark Denman, Liberty, Southview, Northridge, Meade Park, Edison, and Danville High School. We had 104 students shop independently, 425 adults, and we served 1,625 households. For next year, we're focusing the program on the students. Everything that we get will be for the students to be able to grab it and go home and cook it themselves, as opposed to the parents. That was the purpose of the school market, and Miss Linda and I learned that at a training we attended last week. So thank you.
That's awesome. First of all, thank you, ladies. Again, another help for our community, and it's targeting exactly where the need is. Where sometimes we just throw something at a problem and maybe it sticks, but that program appears that is targeted exactly where it needs to go, and it appears to be working. So. Kudos again. That's excellent, and it appears that we're going in the right direction, and doing it quite well. So thanks again for that. All right.
Thank you to the right hand person. You want to say thank you to your right hand in food service?
Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Jamie.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Miss Jamie Schultz have helped on the back end with my company.
Why don't you stand so we get ready to see you?
I didn't make you do this. She made you. Okay. I can't. Let's see, student attendance. Is that what you're going to talk to us about?
I am.
I can't wait.
April attendance, as you know from earlier when I came up here to talk about attendance and chronic truancy in the district, which is a problem for District 118, the state of Illinois, and actually the nation. Kids not attending school or not attending school regularly. So we really pushed attendance in our district, and the principals have all really stepped up. And in April, we wanted to recognize the school with the highest decrease in the number of students that are chronically truant, chronically absent.
Almost a double
Mr.
negative.
Rice,
Yeah.
Mr. Rice, most improved. There you go. So Edison School is, we want to recognize them for a 13% decrease in the number of chronic truants. That is huge, and where they are is still too high. So I want to congratulate Mrs. Shanks and the Edison staff. They have worked very, very hard, and all the other principals. This is a big task. The importance of education. And I did not lose the April banner, but I cannot find it. So I will get that to you. Inappropriate. Thank you.
Superintendent board comments.
Yes, I'm going to start with big announcement, and I'm going to ask Ms. Brett,
Oh, yeah.
come on up. Share the news.
Alright, good evening, Dr. Geddes Board, Mr. Brett's back again. Update on graduation. So we have been in constant contact with the city about the state of the field at Danville Stadium, and we are at this point going to make the call to transition to the backup location of the Danville High School gym. The date and time will remain unchanged. It is still this Saturday, May 25th at 10 a.m. Currently, the field is just still very, very soft from all the rain we've been getting. As of yesterday, there's still standing water on the infield where we were going to place the stage. Mowers were getting stuck mowing around the stadium this morning, and there is more rain forecasted for Friday. Just the field can't take any more rain. Just the risk of driving large trucks onto the field, bringing that stage in, hundreds of chairs, driving back on to remove the stage after potential rain. We just can't risk damaging the field, Danville Stadium, days before the opening of the Danville Dan Stadium. So we are going to pivot to our originally scheduled and always planned backup location, the DHS gym, which I think will go just fine. There's two things I do want to stress. One is just a reminder. One is a change. First, a reminder. Again, no bags we need, other than if you need to bring something in, it's got to be a handheld clear bag. Or obviously, if you have a small child, you can bring in a diaper bag. But other than that, there are no bags going to be allowed. That was always the expectation, even at Danville Stadium. But we especially have to be cognizant of an efficient and streamlined entrance to Danville High School on Saturday. The change is we will not be allowing admission into the gym after the beginning of the ceremony. If we are at Ned Weitzel Field or at the stadium, it's much easier to enter late into the ceremony after it's begun and not be a disruption of any kind. Due to the intimate setting of the gym, that is not going to be a possibility. So we will close the doors permanently after the start of the ceremony at 10 a.m. If you are unable to make it in time but do come, you will have the option of watching the ceremony live streamed in the auditorium, which for some might be a preferable, more comfortable experience, depending on what you feel like. And we will also be live streaming the ceremony as well. That link will be on the district and the Danville High School website. I will be sending out more detailed logistics and graduate instructions and updated to what was sent out previously. I'll be sending that out tomorrow related to entrance procedures, parking, gym capacity, late arrivals, the live stream. So we'll be putting that out on the DHS and Danville 118 Facebook page. I'll be emailing that to all the parents. We'll be putting on the DHS and D118 website. Probably send you something, Mr. Brandy, directly, and we'll do a formal press release. And then I will do alert nows, not with detailed information, but just reminding parents that we are moving to the backup location. And I'll schedule one to go out both tomorrow night and Friday night. So not ideal, not everybody's first preference, but it is doable. And I think it's a good reminder that it's not about us, it's about the class of 2024, and the ceremony is going to be as good as we make it for them. So thank you. Any questions? Or this is not a question time.
Questions, board?
I actually did have a question. What if he preferred to be in the auditorium?
Huh?
What if they have their ticket and they prefer to be in the auditorium instead of the gym?
Yeah, you can go down there.
That'd be okay.
I'm glad you asked that, because you do. If you still have to have a ticket to watch it in the auditorium, we're not just letting anybody in without a ticket either. But yeah, if you're like, I'd rather go down to the auditorium and watch it. You have a ticket. That's
Is
fine.
the auditorium air conditioned?
Yes.
Is the gym?
It is not. The low for Friday night is 61 degrees, and so everybody who raised eyebrows at the 10 o'clock start time.
There you go.
Yeah, I knew it all along. But we're hoping the temperature shouldn't be an issue, because it is going to be in the low 60s the night before.
And just a heads up, the students will be there at what time?
Between 8:30 and 8:45.
Okay.
Just like a school day.
Should not be a
Shouldn't
problem.
be an issue. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are we housing the students?
Field house.
Makes sense.
They stage in the field house, yes.
And the board has to be there?
7:30.
9 o'clock.
Whenever you, Mr. Yeah,
Yeah,
9
that's-
o'clock.
Yeah.
Mr.
Why is it you?
Me and Greg will get you
What do you do?
updates.
I'll tell you when the board has to be there.
I mean, I was at the DAC graduation Friday night. It was packed. Like, I was sitting in the bleachers tight. I had a kid kicking me. And you know what? It was fine. It was a great, joyous occasion. Everybody was happy. Everybody treated themselves and each other with respect and decorum. And I have no doubt the same is going to happen Saturday morning. And it's going to be great. And now I don't have to speak as long as people won't want to listen to me as long anyway. So I get to write a shorter speech.
Okay.
Thank
Should
you.
be good. It'll be great. It's another adventure. And
It will be. And we'll be back on the new renovated field in a year. It'll
Yeah.
be great.
so, thank you. All right, thank you for that. So that'll be everywhere. Try to mention it as much as we possibly can so no one's left out and ends up at the stadium. They'll figure it out when they don't see anyone there. All right.
Okay, I will try to go quickly because we have a couple of our students are doing some great things, and I want to make sure we give them a shout out. Jamia Esther, I believe she's Northridge, right? Second place in the state for the girls 100-meter dash. Congratulations to that young lady. Great job. We want to say good luck to Mr. Menefield, Victor Jones, Demario Jackson, Davari Boyd, Aiden Henderson, and Jerry Reed. They will be competing in the state track meet this weekend. Remember, that was the whole thing with, hopefully they get back. So, good luck to those guys. We're, our hearts with you. Not hearts, because, we're cheering for them, not for the sad reason. Okay. Good luck to the Lady Vikings softball tomorrow night. They take on Mount Zion for the regional championship. Our kids are really doing great things. Other students at DHS, the girls track stars who placed in last week's state track meet, Nakia Shields, 8th place, triple jump, Gabby Huerta, 12th place in the high jump, Tania Reynolds, Janae Parker, Dasani Lewis, Ashanti Conway broke the school record in the 4 by 100 meter relay. So congratulations to all of them. Please come out tomorrow night at 6 p.m. At Danville High School. Our students will be performing with the DSO. We hope to see you there. Okay, yep, I actually have that twice. To parents, a reminder, the Skyward Parent Portal opens Thursday, tomorrow, for returning student registration, and that is returning students only. Got that twice. Great job to the food service department. Thank you for feeding our students and being there for them. We appreciate you. Congratulations to our re-elected Danville Education Association leadership. Alan Rivers, President, Tony Montgomery, Vice President, Angie Carlton, Secretary, and Jolene Armstrong, Treasurer. Congratulations. Finally, I have a challenge for our D118 family. As many people experience homelessness, I'm thinking particularly for our women's shelter, you forget about the little things that help you be more mobile. I did find out that they will collect really good condition suitcases because it's great. Many times you come, your things, it's last minute, it's an emergency. Wouldn't it be great to be able to let them leave with some luggage and things in order? So I'm also going to challenge our entire staff. So this is my drive. I've been wanting to do this for 9 years, right? We're blessed to be able to go on vacations. Many of us are planning our vacations for the summer. What I'm asking is that you forego the toiletries that you find in the hotels. Many of them are moving to the big bottles, but many of them have the smaller bottles, shampoo, conditioner, soap. Those are great travel items when you are homeless.
Steal them?
No. They give them to you in your room.
Oh, okay. If you get the cart when you go by the cart.
Grab the bag.
Oh, Lord.
So what I am asking is that if you could please collect those items and bring them back to the district for the first day of the school. We will collect them and give them to our women's shelters to help them as they experience transitions and homelessness. I know that it's a new word. It's not homelessness, but it's a new word, and I forget it. But I would like, as a family, if we could collect those. You take your own toiletries, you can do that, but collect them and bring them back, and we'll collect them and be able to give them and any really great condition suitcases that you may have. We'll collect them at the beginning of the school year. So let's do that together, D118 family. Thank you.
Oh, so we take our stuff so we don't have to use their stuff. And so, okay. So
sorry.
you don't want the half bottle of shampoo. You want the whole bottle. Got it. Let's go right to left this evening.
Okay, I'm gonna turn the fan on.
I want to thank the admin last Friday for stepping up and coming to Northridge and just lunchroom duty, hall monitor duty. That was really awesome. I think some of them really enjoyed it. So I appreciated seeing that, and I know the staff did too. And I want to congratulate all of our seniors. I know it's been a long year. And the teachers and the staff, it's been a very long year. But I'm very proud of all the seniors. I'm very proud of all the staff. And I just want to remind you, clear bags, because that always seems to get missed. So clear bags at graduation. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just want to take this opportunity to say to the students that were celebrated here on tonight for an outstanding job well done, and particular for this young man that created this. That was delicious. And so I'm appreciative of the work that they've put into it. And also for the ROTC program. I mean, that was one of the biggest blessings for me, to be able to hear and see what they have been able to accomplish this past year. So I take my hats off to Mr. Powell. Oh, First Sergeant Charles Powell, not Mr., but First Sergeant, has done an outstanding job with these young people. And so we want to continue to encourage them. And we are, again, grateful to the staff that have sort of stepped up to the plate, as you always have been doing, to making sure that our young people are doing what they're supposed to be doing. And so, again, we thank you for the work that you all have done this year. And we look forward to greater things for next year, because we believe that every round gets higher and higher. So we thank you all for what you all have done this year. God bless you, and have a marvelous, marvelous summer. Amen.
So I just wanted to shout out the food service as well, and also where our district stands on it. Food insecurity is a really important. It's an important thing that is very kind of hidden in our community, but it's very, very real to a lot of folks in our community. And not all of them are District 118 students. A lot of them are very small, young children who aren't even here with us yet. And so when I heard like this program and this program, we should be proud as a district that we are doing something for the community, making it easier for these children to eat. And Ms. Peugeot, thank you so much for leading the way with that. And I appreciate it, and I'm proud of that. It makes me proud to be a District 118 person. Thank you, Ms. Shanks and Edison Community, for my cute little cup. And I thought it was really cool that you've had this. You're kind of coming together as a family, and you're creating your own unity. And then you were the one with the attendance award. So I don't think that's an accident that when people feel a part of something, when they are a part of something, they want to be there more often. And that's because of the environment you created there. So I'm very proud of that, and I hope you and your staff are too. Mr. Bases, he's going to be mad at me for saying this because he's shaking his head. This is a man who never ever seeks recognition. He's not comfortable with it. Please don't be mad at me. He doesn't want credit for it. But you will often find him behind the scenes, representing us at the state level, doing things that if there's something that needs to be filled in, this man and his leadership with the students that he leads as well. He's really part of the glue that holds our district together. And I'm really in trouble looking at him. He's not happy with me. But thank you, Mr. Bases. And sometimes it's those folks that don't seek recognition that really need it the most. So thanks. So there, you can't interrupt me because here I'm sitting. And then also our retirees. We had a wonderful dinner last week. Miss Robinson, thank you for putting that together. You did an incredible job of having a great night. Yes. And for everyone that's leaving, I know Mr. Brandy, your wife is one of them. We hope that you'll come back and stay connected with us. There's only a couple that said no. Lots of them are thinking about it. And then lastly, congratulations to the graduates. You're days away, and we're very proud of you. And thank you to our staff from kindergarten on, because those kindergarten teachers also get to be celebrating the graduates, because it's been a long journey, and it's taken you every step of the way. We're grateful for you.
Thank you.
I concur with all that has been said and all the thanks that have been offered. I'm just overwhelmed with several things, but the commitment of our staff, the commitment of our leadership, the principals, the assistant principals. I'm not sure realized when you signed up for the job that it was often like an 18-hour day or more. But every time I go to something, you're there. You're there for your kids. You're there for your staff. I tease Mr. Bretz. I don't think he ever sleeps. He is at every event. And to me, that is such a great, it says so much about who we are as a district and who we are in our community. And I thank you very much, all of you, for that. I also, just speaking of what our district looks like to the community, what we saw tonight here with our kids, and that's just a small part of so much of what our kids do. I did happen to go on the New Orleans trip with the show choirs, and they represented us so well to people that would just expect different things from high school kids. Tulane University thought that our kids were amazing. So they're out there, not only in our community, but elsewhere, showing what a great place Danville is and what great kids we have. Not only that are they out there doing all those things, all the extra things that our administrators do, those kids are doing, and they're also some of our top students. So they represent us well, and I want to say thank you to them. And to our seniors, you've been challenged through so much. You were challenged with COVID. You were challenged with having to adapt to change, and we're asking you to adapt to one more change. And we will honor you. We will be so proud of your accomplishments. So thank you again for what you've done as students. We really appreciate it.
Well, I would just like to start in Genesis and end in Revelations, but we'll make this short. Just everything that everybody else said. I'm very, very, very proud of our district. I'm very proud of this board, and I'm looking forward to celebrating with our students on Saturday. Thank you.
I want to first say that I try to make a point of visiting every school this year. I got halfway there. I'm going to do better next year. But I just recently, Monday, as a matter of fact, visited Edison School. And, Miss Shanks did not tell me a thing about these wonderful little cups. It was a nice tour. Kudos to the students at Northeast. I always love it when kids get fired up about something other than sports or anything else, because we really need those fresh minds, because those will be the leaders in the future. The jazz band at the retirement dinner they were phenomenal. I thought I was listening to a professional group. I mean, they had so many many little solos. It was really nice, and of course, Mrs. Robinson is the glue that keeps everything together. Once again, for Edison, kudos on your attendance decrease. As a former principal, that was always a headache, trying to find ways to get staff and students at the building every day. Teachers, administrators, the time is almost at the end. Enjoy your summer, and I'm looking forward to the next year starting. Thank you.
Thank you. That's awesome. Yeah, everybody's kind of said everything. Congratulations, DEA leadership. Well done. And again, I'm really sorry that we're not negotiating this summer because that was really, I think we all enjoyed last summer, but we can still talk about it. We do talk anyway, so it's not a problem. And Mr. Bases, I'm not going to say a word about you, so you're safe there. And thank you, food service. Thanks for the food to keep coming, and congratulations to everybody. I'm really looking forward to graduation in the gym. It's one of those things that you go, oh, really, we're gonna do it? But I think it's like you make lemonade out of lemons. You know, it's gonna be one of those things that it'll be memorable, and we'll always remember this year. So with that, I will see you all on June 5th, and we are adjourned.